here. And I'm forgetting something. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Okay. Alright. Hey y'all, I'm Amanda. This is the Southern Knits in the Mitt podcast. I'm coming to you from Traverse City, Michigan, and this is episode number 13. Lucky 13. I know so many people are like so afraid of the number 13, but I've always found it to be a lucky number for me. How about y'all? Let's see, today it is snowing hard. It's been snowing, and I think it's going to snow all day long. My setup here is a little different. I'm like in the corner. I've rearranged my office. I cleaned it. Can you believe it? I think what I'll do is at the end, I will pop in a quick video. Some of you have asked what my yarn stash looks like and how I store it and all that. And so I'll pop in a quick video because I went through and I organized everything. I separated it out by weight, by like if it was self-striping, speckled, all that business. So I'll show you all that, but we're going to have a little bit different setup. And I'm kind of in the corner. And so now the window that was normally in front of me is off to the side, and you're going to see me. I look out of it all the time while I'm podcasting. Because it's just so pretty out right now. I love the snow. It's so beautiful. I know that, in a couple months I'll be sick of it, but I think at the beginning of the winter, I really, really like it because it's so pretty. I've actually have this door open in here because this room is always freezing cold, and I was like, not today. Today I'm going to be warm in there. So I may end up coming out of this shawl that I'm wearing. This is, we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's see what all has been going on. Of course, I didn't podcast in 2 weeks. It's been 4, probably, maybe even more since our last podcast. Just been busy. Work, just doing some reorganization in the house, getting some things clean, put away, in their right place, because it's been a little bit chaotic here, if I'm truly honest. I had a good Thanksgiving with some of my friends. I went to Thanksgiving with a friend and spent the day with her family, and it was just nice to be with them. I just, I feel loved. I feel all the love here, so it's been really good. Let's see, I don't think there's really much else that's really been going on. It's just been, this is the first, like we had a really good snow over the weekend, and then it all melted, and now it's snowing again. So I don't know if this is going to stick around, if this is going to be it. At some point in time, it starts snowing, and then it just stays until the end of winter. And so I thought that that's where we were last weekend, but it wasn't. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I've been just enjoying it, just taking it in. I like to sit in my living room and just drink a cup of coffee and watch it. I really enjoyed doing that. So I have 2 winners to announce for the gift make-along. Oh my gosh, y'all did some beautiful entries. I had so much fun looking at all of them. So Karen over at A Yarn Tale, she pulled 2 prizes, one from her Ravelry group and one from the hashtag on Instagram. And I did the same. So I pulled 2 prizes, one from my Ravelry group and one from the hashtag on Instagram. And I've reached out to both of them. I've heard back from, let me find my paper, from Beverly on Instagram. I heard back from her, so I will get her stuff out to her. And then the other person is from Ravelry, Leslie. I sent you a message through Ravelry, and I promise I'll check it. I'm really bad about getting into that account and checking things because I created an account just for the podcast. And so I'm not always in on that one. I'm always in on mine. So I'll get in there and look at it. And I will also check the email for the podcast because I don't ever check that either. So I'm going to show you the prizes that I've got set aside for those. So if you remember, Ginger Snap sent me a kit, and it was like this mini snap bold mini snap set with fingering, and I'm gonna drop stuff, and a skein of this is Surrey Petit Four Surrey alpaca. And so if you held that with this, that'd make an awesome hat. So that's going to be one prize. And then I've got some little like tools and notions that I'm going to put with it. And then the other prize is some yarn from Turtle Purl. I have this yarn and I absolutely love it. So I ordered another one. So this is from Turtle Purl yarn. It is 2 skeins of self-striping yarn, and it will, like, they start at the same time so your socks will match. And then there's a mini for your heels, toes, and cuffs. So, and then here is, like, that's the schematic of how it knits up. Isn't that so cute? I love this yarn. I really liked using her yarn. I've already made 1 pair of socks with them. And then the other ones that I've got, I think I'm going to try and do some mitts with, some of the fingerless mitts, because when you watch the tutorial on Berry Pink Knits for the Knock Knock convertible mitts, it's Turtle Purl yarn that she's using. So that'd be a good thing. You could even do that with these instead of socks if you wanted to. Whoever gets it. So that's that. Those are the 2 prizes. And like I said, they're going to have some notions with them that will go out. Okay. How many of y'all did yarn advents? Y'all, I have had so much fun with mine. I've got to get this bag. I'm going to get this bag and show you because I did. Hold on. This was a fail. Okay. So I did Shirley Bryan yarn for one. Y'all, look at the bag. It is perfect. Look at that. I love this. This like made my day when I opened it and saw these dinosaurs on it. Because, you know, her logo is I don't think it's a T-Rex. I think it's a Velociraptor, but I absolutely love this. And I am loving hers. Hers is looking like a neutral fade. And so I'm trying to decide what I'm going to knit. My other one is from Loco. And I showed y'all that. I showed y'all the box last podcast. And it is like bold, tonal, like really bold, saturated colors. So I'm trying to decide what I want to knit. So, let me pull this up. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. It is, it's a shawl by Joji Locatelli. And it is like a rectangle shawl. And so it looks like kind of a fade, and I think you do it in sections, and I think it would do really well with this advent. And so I think what I'm going to do is the one from Shirley Bryan that's like it's a good fade. It looks like it's going to be. I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. Is this it? I don't feel like that's it. No. Sorry, I could have been a little bit better prepared for this. My bad. My bad. And then the other one, I think what I want to do with it is I think I want to do a V-back tee to see if I have enough. Here it is, the Suburban wrap. So this is what I think I'm going to do with the one from Shirley Bryan, because it kind of fades. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that one. And then the V-back tee. That's what I think I want to try. Surely I'll have enough yarn. It's going to be 20 for 20 gram minis. That should be enough for a V-back tee, right? Yes, it has to be. So I've had so much fun opening these things. It has been a blast. So I really, really enjoyed it. So hopefully I can get some pictures up, because I'm not going to be spoiling anything, because it'll be, you know, after the day that it's supposed to be. So I'll try that. We'll try and do that. Hold please. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, so I've got some finished objects. I've got 2 I've really got 3. I've got something I'm calling a finished object because I found it when I was cleaning out my office, and I'm just counting it. I've got some whips to go over and some yarn. Of course I have some yarn, right? I really didn't buy that much. What I did buy, I'm using. So there we go. Okay, so first finished object. My first finished object is, hold on, what is happening right here? If I dropped a stitch, I'm gonna be so mad. Did I? No, maybe not. I may have dropped a stitch. Y'all, I've really been bad about dropping stitches right now lately. Okay, so this is the Paris and Berlin cowl. Isn't that so cute? I really am pleased with how it turned out. So this was with a Shirley Brand deconstructed fade. Oh my God, y'all. She's doing an update today. She is going to have the deconstructed fade on worsted. I'm not going to buy any today because I'm sure she's going to keep having it, but maybe after Christmas. Maybe after Christmas I will. So, ooh, this clashes terribly with what I'm wearing, but so this is it. I really am pleased with how this turned out and how it fades. I was hoping I was going to get back to the gold, but I didn't. I imagine I probably could have increased this part a little bit more, or maybe started farther in this color and gotten through. I don't know. But I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and I really liked using this yarn because, I mean, she's done all the work for you for the fade, and it just like, it did so well. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I like this pattern. I like the finished product. I don't love knitting it, so I don't know that I'll do any more of these, but I do like it, and I like the way it fits, but I don't love knitting it. It's not a bad pattern. It's very well written. I just, some things you like to knit and some things you don't. Excuse me. So that's my first finished object. So my next one, y'all haven't even seen this. This wasn't even a whip on the last podcast. So I took my Loco Birthstone set and I did the dotted rays with it. So this is a Stephen West dotted rays. It starts like that, and I just faded it, and I did it all. I love it. So I just followed the pattern and then just did my own little fading thing here. And I'm going to tell you, I straight up played yarn chicken. I thought I was going to run out, especially when it was time to do this icord bind off. I thought I was going to run out, and I was digging through my scraps trying to find something that would be close enough that I could just use it if I had to. But it ended up working out. I really like it. This was a really fun knit. There's 2 different sizes. This one is actually like between the large and the small. I started with the intentions of knitting the large, and when I got to the end of the small instructions, it was like right here maybe, and so I just did one more repeat because I had the yarn to do it. And so yeah, I really liked this. This was really nice. I really enjoyed knitting it. It was a fun knit to do. It was easy. It was not hard at all. Someone commented about how I do my fades, so I thought I would show you that. So the first faded shawl that I did was the Free Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. And once you do it, you kind of learn what works for the fading part. So what I like to do, I'll start down here because this end is so much easier to see it on. So what I like to do is I just start, and then when I'm ready to fade to my next color, what I do is I'll do a row of my new color, a row of my old color, a row of my new color, a row of my old color, and then like 2 rows of the new color, And you just kind of play back and forth like that with it, okay? It's not a science. The first time I did one out of these mini sets from Loco, I used my scale a lot. I have a little scale. I have a little drug dealer scale right here. And I would just weigh my yarn and figure out how much yarn I'm using for a row, how much I had left, about how many rows I could get out of that. And then just kind of do it. So like right here you can see, so like that was new, old, new, and then the old I did too right there. And you just, whatever you have left and however you're feeling and however you want it to look. It's not a science, and you just kind of do it. You just kind of do it, and it does really well. And sometimes I just do like back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes I'll have an extra row in there, like right there. I did 2 rows of that, and then a couple of rows down I did a couple of rows of, and that's how you do it. Just do whatever looks good to you, Now I will tell you, when you're going from like this solid tonal kind of something to a speckle, you get some really harsh lines and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. Just keep going, because once you add more to it, it looks way better. So that's it. I love it. And it blocked out really well. It's still smaller than maybe I figured it was going to be. The larger one, I think maybe had 2 more or 3 more repeats. So it would have been a pretty big shawl, but I was out of yarn. So there we go. So my last FO. So this was a long time ago when I first started knitting socks. Before I did them 2 at a time. And so it's 1 sock of each yarn, and I'm just going to make them a mismatch pair and call it good, because like, so this is one, and this is ginger snap. This is like some kind of panda party something. And it was a sock set, and this is a mini she had with it. So this is an afterthought heel, and I don't love an afterthought heel. And this is the other. I think this is Yarn Ink, if I'm not mistaken. And then this was like my first attempt at a Fish Lips Kiss heel. So I'm just making them a mismatch pair and calling it good, because I hate doing an afterthought heel, so I don't want to do another one. And this was my first Fish Lips Kiss heel. So like the next sock wouldn't probably, and it's been so long since I knit these, it's been probably at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And so I know that my gauge has changed a ton since I knit these. So I'm just going to call them a mismatch pair and be done with it. I'm counting it. It's my knitting. I can do that. I'm the boss of my knitting, right? So yeah, just for bopping around the house, they'll be perfect. And I know that's kind of like the thing now, but not that I love it. I think I'm not going to put this shawl back on, but I'll show it to you. So this shawl is the Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. Let me make sure I'm showing you the right side. This was a kit from Cornbread and Honey. It was called Autumn Fire, I think. And like this, showing it to you right here does not do it justice. In person, this is the most vivid, beautiful yarn I've ever seen. It is absolutely beautiful. And I love this shawl. It is huge. It is a ginormous shawl. This is one that I can actually wear like around me like this. And it's still, like, you can't see it, but like the wingspan on it, they're down to almost my ankles. Especially on this long side, it touches the floor. So it's super long, but it's just cozy and warm, and I do like to wear it, but I think I'm going to take it off because now it's kind of warm in here. It ain't cold in here no more. That's for sure. Okay, so I have a lot of whips. Some of them you've seen, some of them you haven't. So we'll just get started. Okay, I'm going to show you this first one. This is my blanket that I'm doing for my granddaughter. This is in my deluxe Meyer project bag. I have all these bags and I throw it in a Meyer bag. Isn't that terrible? So this is the blanket that I'm doing for my granddaughter. And it's just going to fade from this dark to this purple and then purple to a light gray. And so, you know, I started it and then I ripped it. I didn't like it. I ripped it out. And so I started it back. So all I'm doing is I did a provisional cast on because I'm going to do an icord border over here. I'm doing an icord border up the side. And it's just garter stitch back and forth. It's squishy. I'm holding worsted weight double. This is from like Hobby Lobby. It's just super soft, and it's something that, you know, they can throw it in the washing machine, and it's going to have, so I've just started, so each repeat is like maybe 10 garter bumps. And so I've just started holding the purple double. And then after I do that for 10 garter bumps, which is 20 rows, I will do the purple with a lighter gray, and then I'll do just the gray. And so I think that's going to be a decent sized little blanket for her. She'll be able to use it for more than just like a baby blanket. I can't get a lot done on this every day. I try to do like 2 or 3 garter rows, but these needles, y'all, look at these needles. That thing's freaking huge, and it hurts my hands. It's just so bulky, it hurts my hands. So I don't do a lot of knitting on that I try to knit on it every day, and hopefully I'll have it done by the time they visit at Christmas. We'll see. Okay, so my other whip is my Christmas socks. Y'all, I did order. You know, I wasn't sure if I ordered it or not, but I did order from the Cozy Knitter. And I can show this now because it's past December. So it's a 24 stripe skein repeat, a 24 stripe repeat, and you knit a stripe a day for Advent. And so these are mine. So I got the one that has, you get your 2 skeins. It shows you where to start. So I got the one that had the contrast color for the heel, toe, and cuff. And I think I'm going to do a real cuff on this one. And y'all know that that's not like me. So this is just a creamy off-white. But her yarn, it's 80-20. It is so squishy and so warm and thick. So I'm going to do toe up. And then we'll see where my 24 repeats get me. You know, because it should get me through my heel. And it may be like a shorty. We'll see. Last year, I did my 24 rows, and then I just kept knitting until I ran out of yarn or almost ran out of yarn, just because I wanted to try and use it all up. Actually, that right there is what's left. I thought I had enough left that I was going to be able to take those and what was left from this and maybe do a Musselburgh, because after I started knitting this, I was like, this would be a cool Musselburgh. So I may do that next year. I may get one and just do a Musselburgh out of it, because this would be an awesome Musselburgh. If that thing was doubled up, oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Nice and cozy. So that's those. And so I just knit, you know, 1 stripe a day on those. And that's been fun. I'm really liking it. So the colors last year were more, like this has more blues in it. It has more of this, like this green right there in it. It's just got a little bit, I feel like, cooler colors maybe, where last year's were a little bit warmer colors. So I'm really liking it so far. And her colors are kind of like muted, vintage looking. They're not like that bright bam in your face color. So I'm really enjoying those. If you haven't knit with her yarn, her sock sets are amazing, because this yarn is so thick and so warm, and it just knits up. You get a really good dense fabric with it when you knit with it. So I really love her yarn. So that's my socks. Okay. Let's talk about this Harlow hat. So this is the Harlow hat. When I show it to you, y'all are going to be like, you haven't done anything on it. But I really have. Because what you don't know is that I got to the decreases and jacked it up and had to rip the whole thing out and start all the way over again. So, like, me and this hat are just not, we're not meshing. And I'm not sure, I really do think it's the yarn that I've picked because it is so similar in places. So this really does look like exactly where I was last time, but all of this is new. And here's my problem. Here's my problem. I'm so mad at myself. So the other day I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I'm almost to the point to where I'm going to start decreasing. So I've had some mistakes. I've gone back and fixed them. I've been able to do that. So I'm almost to the point to where I'm about to start my decreases. And so I was like, you know, maybe I should go ahead and count and make sure, you know, 6 inches into it that I have the right number of stitches. And I don't. I'm two stitches short. And so now I don't know what to do. I don't know where to try to, it's going to mess me up when it's time to decrease. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to. So if you have suggestions, I'm wondering if maybe like the first round of decreases, if I skip a decrease on one needle and on the back needle, if that will, and then I should be on track, because when I do a decrease, it should eat up 2 stitches. And if I don't do the decrease, then I won't lose those 2 stitches. And then my count would be right. Maybe. I don't know. If you have a suggestion, I would be open to it because I'm not ripping this thing out again. I got to figure it out. I got to figure something out. But yeah, I mean, I love the hat. I really do. I love the way it feels. And I really do think that part of my problem is my yarn, because when you look like right here, so here's my dark yarn, but look right here. See that white right there? So when it's up against this white right here, sometimes I don't know which one is which. And that's where I get messed up. So, but I love, love, love how squishy this is. I love how, oh my gosh, it feels so good. And so I really do, I want to finish it, because it's kicked my butt and I'm like determined to get it done. But I really do love it. I really do love it. And this right here is just like the dark yarn has its white spots right there. But I really do. I love how it feels. I did, I went up in my needle size like I was supposed to. I just really think that I'm going to like it when it's finished. And I do have plans to do another one, but I'm going to do straight up, for real, totally contrasting colors so that I don't run into that problem again. It took me a minute to really get the magic loop part down, because when you're at these ends, it's kind of odd how you have to do things. And so, but once I did that, I have loved knitting this. It's really, really like intuitive when you get into it. It's not bad at all. And then it's reversible. So that's the other side. So if you have suggestions on how I'm just like freaking out about it now, because I'm like 2 stitches, and in this brioche, it's not like you can just like eat up or add a stitch or whatever, like you can't, and hide it like you can in Garter Stitch. You can't do that in this. So comment below and let me know what you think, what I should do. I'm sure there's someone out there who's been doing this longer than me who can maybe guide me there. But that's that. Holy hell. I don't know what else to do with it. But I've got to finish it because we have fought. I told a friend of mine, I was like, man, I'm going to finish this thing. I'm going to burn it in my driveway when I'm done. Because it's giving me so much trouble. I just can't. I can't. Okay. So my other whip. So I have a bunch of friends having babies. And so this is a free pattern. It's the Shadow Knit Checkerboard Baby Blanket by Clara, Massessa. Very Pink Knits. She did a tutorial on this. And so I've got just a little bit started on it. This is yarn from Hobby Lobby. Hold on, I've got a label right here. It's this from Hobby Lobby, this baby bee. It's just super soft, and they can wash it and dry it because, you know, babies do things. And so that's where I'm at. So I've modified the pattern just a little bit because I really do like an icord bind off, an icord edging. And so I just did a provisional cast on so that I can do an icord edging there. And then I'm doing an icord up the side and I'll bind off an icord. I think it'll make it lay a little bit flatter because this is not like wool yarn. This is acrylic yarn. And so it's not gonna, like, when I wash it and block it, it's not gonna block like wool would and lay flat and things like that. So I don't want it curling up, and I think I just feel like an icord edging would kind of help make it lay a little flatter. We'll see. We'll see what that'll do. So that's that. That was, again, the Shadow Knit Checkerboard Baby Blanket. It's a super easy pattern to follow. And she, like I said, Berry Pink Knits, she did a video tutorial on it, so you could go follow it. It's very nice. Okay, so my last whip, y'all, this one's my most favorite. I've been so excited to cast this one on. And since I saw the first picture for the shawl, I was like, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it in that color. So this is the Frank shawl by Joji Locatelli. It is so beautiful. So like this, it's in black and white. So, but this right here is like a pecan color. This is a super light gray, a medium gray, and then a dark gray. And then these lines are the pecan color through it. It is absolutely beautiful. And so I'm doing it basically in the colors that she did, but just not the yarn. She used Madeline Tosh, and Madeline Tosh actually has kits on her website, but I was too impatient to wait for it to come to me. And so, I found a new yarn store. Yay me. I found a new local yarn store, and so I was like, I'm going to go look, but I'm not buying anything. That was a lie. Why do I tell myself I ain't buying nothing? A lie. I'm a liar. So I bought La Jolla yarn, and so I bought, this is that pecan color. This is a medium gray, and then the dark gray. And so her light gray almost looks white, and they had something that was a whitish speckly that I really liked. But then I saw this one, which is lighter than my medium gray, and it doesn't look it right there, but in person it is. But this has those orange speckles in it. And so I just think that that is going to knit up so well. So this is what I'm going to do. So where hers is light, medium, dark, mine is going to be the solid gray and the dark gray, and then this part is going to be my speckle. I think that's my plan. And then instead of having the speckle medium dark, I want the speckle to break up the two. And so that's what I'm going to do. I cannot wait. I've had so much fun knitting this so far. So here it is. Isn't that pretty? It's just so Joji Locatelli's patterns are always very well written. I did not get gauge with the, I knew I wouldn't get gauge with the needle that she recommended. So for her patterns, I always go up a needle. But even when I went up a needle size, it was still super dense fabric, which I generally don't mind in a shawl. But it was so dense. So I went up another needle size. So I've gone up 2 needle sizes. And I think I will get gauge once, because you have to get gauge on the blocked sample. And I think when this blocks, it'll be okay. I think it'll still be tight, but not as tight. I may just barely miss being on gauge. So we'll see. But I really like how it's knitting up. I like the fabric I'm getting. And you knit it like in pieces and put stitches on hold and all this kind of craziness. So we'll see. But I'm really liking it. Look, it looks like the Star Trek thing. Like their little chevron. I'm a Trekkie. Y'all know that. So yeah, so that's it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I've really not wanted to put it down. I'm really anxious to get it done so I can see what it looks like. I hope it really does good, and I can't wait to block it and get it to just like relax out. But it's a super easy pattern to follow. She, like I said, she does such a good job in her writing and how she writes her patterns. They're so easy to follow. So there's that. And this is in one of my ginger snap bags with the peacocks on it. So that is all of my knitting. That's everything. So my yarn acquisitions was that yarn right there. Where's this pattern? And then it's gotten out of order, so I've got to look at the picture to get it back in order. Y'all, I got the December Birthstone Kit. Look at those colors. These are like all my favorite colors together. I love this rust color, this pecan rust color, and this blue. I love this. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I may do another dotted rays with it because I really liked doing that pattern. I think this would be absolutely beautiful in that pattern. I really do. I think it would be gorgeous. So she's got, she always does like some kind of little gift, and I didn't open this up. Oh, it's got a little crochet hook. Can you see that? I like it. I love those little things. You know, I have those from Susan Bates, I think is who it is. And since I've reorganized my office, I know where everything is. These little things, it's called a handy tool. It's a hook on one end and a knitting needle on the other. I love this. This is probably one of my most used tools. I use this all the time, other than my stitch markers, but you know, it's probably one of my most used tools. Okay. So then, while I was there, I got another set of Loco needles because I'm always needing this size. And so, I got those. And then I saw this. They had a store sample of this cowl. This is just a free pattern. And then this is the yarn I got. I didn't get the yarn that the store sample was in. It wasn't quite that bright, but this, I really thought that was pretty. So, I don't know. This, I don't know if I'll knit this or if I'll put this up for a prize. We'll see. We shall see. Then, y'all know Knit Picks had this ginormous sale, right? And so, I've been wanting to do a colorwork sweater. And most colorwork sweaters are in like DK weight. And I was watching Cozy Up Knits one day, and she had on, I think it was a throwover. And she used the Knit Picks CD Tweed DK. And so that's what, I got some of it. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so soft. So this is 55% merino, 25% superfine alpaca, and then 20% tweed. And so they had these on sale, and this was, I mean, this is a 50-gram ball, granted, but it was $5. And so I bought a bunch of them. I bought enough to do a sweater. And then I bought the light gray. So this colorway is called Orca. And this one is called, they have names on the website, but then on here it's a color number, CZ01. Let's see if I have that real name on my paper. Harbor Seal City Tweed DK. Harbor Seal is this one. And then the other one is Orca. So I think that I'm going to try and pick, I've picked a couple of colorwork sweaters that I want to try, but this is super lightweight and so soft. So if it's this soft now, I can't wait to see what it feels like when it's blocked. Oh, it's going to be perfect. Yes. So that's that. I think that's everything that I've bought. I have been very good. I have not been buying yarn. I can tell you right now that I am itching to get onto the Shirley Bryan website because she is doing an update today, and she is doing her deconstructed fades in worsted, and I want to try it so bad, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till after Christmas. When I do this video and show you my yarn, I don't need any more yarn. If I buy more yarn, I'm going to need someone to get into their car and come to my house and kick every square inch of my butt because I don't need more yarn. If you hear me say it, put a stop to it. It's really bad. It was really bad. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I found yarn that I'd forgotten I had bought. So, but I've got a couple of sweater quantities of things, and I have things in my mind that I want to do. And so I need to knit what I got, right? That's gonna be one of my goals next year, is to stash dive, and at least, especially if it's a multi-skein kind of project, to at least use one skein of stash yarn. That's going to be my goal. And then to do a bunch of scrappy projects, because I've got a crap ton of scraps. I mean, I have a whole basket of just scrap yarn, or like partial skeins and things like that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Let's see, what else is going on? Have I watched anything new? I have, okay. So I'm like a crafty person. I really am. I like to do different crafts, and I've got some things that I have been doing up for Christmas gifts. Hang on, I'm going to go get one and show you. There's going to be a lot of editing in this video today. So I made note cards for some of my friends. So I just did hand-painted note cards. So I did that. But the other thing that I have, the other rabbit hole that I have gone down is quilting videos. And y'all, I'm just telling you, I can't. I want to do it so bad. And if I do, I'm going to be in trouble, because if I'm with fabric like I am with yarn, that'll be it. That'll be it. I'll be broke and homeless making quilts and shawls. So I've really had to restrain myself, because there's so many quilts that I want to make. I love to sew. I've always sewn, and so maybe that's a project my mom and I can do together. Maybe that's what we should do. Let's see, what else have I? I'm trying to think. Have I started any new podcasts? Yarny ones? No, I think I'm still kind of slugging through Mesa Skeins and catching up on all of hers. Chevy Real put a podcast out not long ago. The guys at Needles at the Ready, they put one out. They're really good about sticking to their schedule. So they put one out, and I watched it. Fiber Hustle hasn't put one out in a long time, and I'm really worried that they're not going to put one out again, because like it's been a while, and I've really missed having them because they really are fun to watch. I like watching them. And the Bearded Purl, they've been kind of hit or miss too, but I get it. We all have life, right? So I mean, here I am saying I'm gonna do it every 2 weeks and never do. So I 100% get it. Let's see, have I read any good books? I just finished Runaway by Harlan Coben. It was really good. It was a good book. And I just finished John Grisham's new book, The Judges List. That one was good. His books lately have been kind of off to me. And like I had one that I couldn't even finish, which is very odd, because I really do like John Grisham books. But that one was really good. It was a good book. I haven't watched anything really new. Haven't watched anything new. So yeah, that's just kind of like what I've been doing. I hope that everybody is well this holiday season. I hope that y'all are enjoying each other. Just like slow down. Just slow down. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just slow down and enjoy each other. Enjoy your time together. Make that time together a priority, because you're not promised tomorrow, and you need to make the most of every day. I want to say thank you all so much for coming by. If this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for coming to my little corner of YouTube. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all just make me feel so loved. I love your comments. I love reading them. And y'all really are sweet and really do lift me up, and I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll put a little clip of my knitting, all my knitting stash up after this, okay? So until next time, y'all have a happy holiday. Hopefully I'll try and get one more up before Christmas, but I'm not going to make any promises because I have a lot to do and my family's coming. So hopefully I'll see you before Christmas, but if not, have a happy holiday and Merry Christmas, and thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Bye y'all. See you later. Okay, so here we are. This is my 4th attempt to try and video this, so hopefully we can make it through. So I store my yarn in these cubes in these cubbies like this. I have 2 of them. So so this one is just like commercial yarn for things that I do for, you know, people with kiddos and stuff. And this one is commercial yarn. These little things, like, these things were on sale for $2 and something. So I had to get them. Right? All right. This one is all striped sock yarn, self-striping sock yarn. And these are there's a few extra sets in there, but these are all scraps or partial skeins of self-striping sock yarn. And then these 2 just have like speckled fingering yarn in them. Both of those. Okay? All full. And then up here, these have like, this one's got like my needles, crochet needles, knitting needles. And then this has just tools, stitch markers, scissors, that string stuff. And then here's this one over here. So this one has just some bulky yarn in it, some cotton yarn down there in the bottom. This one has yarns that I have multiple skeins of, or yarns that are designated specifically for some projects. This is all DK weight yarn. This is my scraps of fingering weight yarn or partial skeins, or, you know, not full skeins, and then just little scraps of stuff here and there. These are all 20-gram minis. And these are all sets of yarn. Like my Shirley Bryan sets are down in there, but anything that's a set or a kit is in there. This has just like pom-poms. These are like eyeballs for, I've got a book that I want to make some crochet like animals out of. And so those are eyes and things for that. That's my janky little Swift. And then this has my bags in it. This was my husband's. We got this for him for when he would get mad. There we go. And then this right here is just like 10-gram minis. That's what that's full of. And so that's it. That's my yarn.